Welcome to Big Homeopathy. I'm your host, Sarah Thompson. Hi, welcome to Big Homeopathy. I'm your host, Big Homeopath, Sarah Thompson. I had a dream the other night. I'm standing on the railing of a porch of a fancy manor house in Rhode Island that's on the water, and it has a long lawn that goes down to the ocean. And the kids are all jumping off this railing, diving off the railing, down the lawn into the ocean. It's some new game. And the distance looks impossibly long, but in that internal coherence of dreams, somehow they're making it every time, and they're just shrieking with joy. And they keep telling me, Mom, it's so fun, it's so easy, you got to do it. And I'm standing on the railing. I want to jump. And the tide is coming up. So the jump is even getting shorter and easier. And the sun starts to redden, and I know it's now or never. I've got to do it. And I tell the kids I'm going to do it. And they're all excited. And I can't. I can't make myself do it. And they lose interest. And they go off. Do something else inside the house, and I can't shake it. I can't shake this feeling that I've got to make this dive. And so I go back out there. I'm up on this railing. It's sunset. I'm running out of time, and I'm ready. I'm gonna go, and I call the kids. I'm like, I'm gonna do it, you guys. But they're totally busy with other stuff, and they've not paying any attention to me. And I realize that if I'm going to make this jump, I'm going to have to do it alone. There's not going to be an audience. There's not going to be a cheering section. It's just got to happen. And when the dream ends, I'm still standing on the railing. I made a new friend online last week. A year ago, if someone online that I didn't know offered to really help me with something, help me in a meaningful way, I probably would have turned it down. I wouldn't have known how to accept that kind of help. But I'm trying to be really open to the possibility, to the truth that opportunities are coming at me all the time. I am meditating and asking and praying for guidance, but I have to open my ears and eyes and listen and accept it. And so this new friend of mine, he offered to walk me through this 7 levels exercise. And I'm just kind of taking everything that's coming my way right now. You know, some of it, is it opportunities to be taken on, or is it temptations to be avoided, as Rabbi Sachs talks about that distinction and how important that is? I don't know, so I'm just going to take what comes at me, and I'm going to make some mistakes, and I'm going to learn from them. But so there's this really neat exercise I'd never done called the 7 levels of why. And you start with the question, what's my goal? Why do I want to do this exercise? And then you ask with each answer, why is that important? So I wrote this down so that I would get it right to share with you today. It was incredibly powerful. I really want to believe in myself and see my value. It's important to me to believe in myself and see my value because I've spent a lot of my life looking for external validation, and I don't want to rely on that. It's important for me not to rely on external validation because I want to always know that I'm okay, even if things aren't going well externally. It's important to me to know that I'm okay, even if things aren't going well outwardly, because then I'm not dependent on those external circumstances, and I can be peaceful always. It's important to me not to be dependent on external circumstances to know that I'm okay, because then I will be free to act with integrity and not be held back by fear. It's important to me to be able to act with integrity and not be governed by fear, because fear will hold me back from what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to be doing in the world. It's important to me not to be held back from fear by what I'm supposed to be doing in the world. because my purpose is about so much more than me. And if I don't do what I'm supposed to be doing in the world, no one is going to do it, and everyone will lose. This is so much bigger than I am. I need to leave my children a legacy of having done the thing that I was put on earth to do. And I can't let a fearful ego get in the way. That's the 7th level. So, pretty powerful, right? You all know at this point that I came to my work with homeopathy through my experience with acute myeloid leukemia. And there are 3 very distinct phases to the cancer process. There is the terror of diagnosis, which is just surreal. Then there is the visceral brutality of conventional treatment in allopathic oncology. And then there is the remission or prognosis and integrating this strange, new, and broken feeling body and mind into a world that looks totally different. And there were 2 things that I wanted so badly when I was sick. And the first was someone who could hold my hand through the process, who was a professional and had skills and knowledge and insight, not just someone to talk to, but someone who could really offer me things that could help. And the other was to know that there was some deep meaning under this suffering, some purpose to all of this, some truth that I could find. And homeopathy brought me to that place. It showed me that truth. The healing on the physical level is secondary, even though it happened, to that realization of that truth that if I didn't find it, I was going to die. Cancer is not the end of health. It's the beginning. And that's the call that I have to answer, is to work with people who are suffering in this way, who are going through this treatment and coming out of it and not knowing how to make that integration work, not knowing how to live their best life after cancer treatment. It's exhilarating, but it's also kind of scary. What if I get it wrong? What if I make mistakes? What if people are angry with me? What if my colleagues criticize me? Well, all those things are going to happen. I'm not a magician and I'm not perfect. And that's the price of answering the call. But there are people suffering out there on the moonless, dark sea in the tempestuous ocean with the mountain-high black waves towering over them, clinging to the side of this fragile vessel. And they don't know it's a womb. Chaotic and dramatic, but also the incubation of a new birth and a new life. I call it swallowing the dragon's egg and letting it crack open inside of you and reveal something new, something that comes through you. So something is coming through me. And I have a choice. I can stand on that railing. The mansion seems really safe, but the tide is rising. It's rising to meet me. And I can take that dive or try to hide behind this inadequate barrier forever. So I'm taking that dive. I'm speaking specifically to that pain, the hair loss and the skin symptoms and the soreness and burning and sleeplessness and digestive issues, but also the fear and the darkness and the disgust and the anger and the frustration and the depression. All of that is what I need to speak to. So that's big homeopathy this week. It's going to be huge. And I have one more thing I want to ask of you today. Please click the link in my description below and click through to my website, sign up for a free transformational healing session. If you need this kind of help, send it to someone else that needs this kind of help. Sign up for my mailing list and become a part of healing. This healing that I'm doing for myself, this healing that you can do for yourself. That's what's big about homeopathy. I'll see you next week.